Hey guys, Mrparka here. I'm here to review something I normally would never review. I mean, it's nothing I'm not an expert on, so it's kind of like me reviewing something, or somebody reviewing doesn't matter. It is what it is. I'm not an expert on the subject. I'm a novice actually, a novice, whatever. I actually had only heard of this person a couple times, because when you're looking up movies and stuff, you hear about extreme people, and he always had a legacy of just insane antics. You even see him pop up on VH1 as his craziest music things ever, and that is GG Allin. It's a documentary about him by actually Todd Phillips. He was making it for his university. It says here he did Old School and stuff like Road Trip, which is insane. That he started out, making a documentary about GG Allin. And, he's a punk artist, and like I said before, I'm not a novice, so I'm a novice on this subject. So basically, bear with me here, and I'm just gonna give my review on the documentary. There's not gonna be that many knowledgeable points, just my basic. It was sent to me to review, so I'm gonna review it, and I enjoyed it. So basically, my basic points on the documentary as a film and other things like that, and the extras and everything, and what I learned and how informative it is and everything. The documentary only runs about 60 minutes. And I couldn't take my eyes off it. It was very intriguing, yet disturbing, yet disgusting. I mean, his antics are very insane. He's naked all the time on stage and violent towards the audience, towards himself.
It depends on the person he's around and what's going through his mind. He can be normal 1 minute, and he can turn on you like an animal in the next minute. I think this tour will probably be.
There's crazy tattoos everywhere. I could never be at one of his shows because the second his shit got on me or his blood got on me, I might lose it. Because someone like that, obviously, to me, is probably disease-ridden. Because they just don't care. It was just one of those people that was a one-of-a-kind person that cared nothing about it. Here's an example he visited John Wayne Gacy. He actually visited John Wayne Gacy, serial killer in prison. And one of the fans said they visited him afterwards and they were talking about Gigi. And John Wayne Gacy said, "Man, I love the guy like a brother, but I never smelled a guy worse." He said he was the worst smelling person ever.
GG, at least at one time, claimed that he related to Gacy, just because of the fact that Gacy was the most notorious of all American serial killers. And he's the most easily accessible. I mean, you can just write to the guy and he'll write you back. And Gigi had actually gone to visit him, which is pretty funny bringing up Gacy. I went to visit Gacy one summer, about a week after Gigi had been there. And Gacy said to me, he goes, "That Gigi, man, great kid. I like that guy a lot. Love him like a brother. But man, if he doesn't stink like the worst, pissiest ass wino I've ever met in my life."
John Wayne Gacy, the guy who had 30 some or 25 bodies in his basement, said that Gigi Allin was the worst smelling guy ever. So, man, if that tells you something about it. Actually, John Wayne Gacy did that picture of him right there, which is awesome. The DVD actually comes with a whole bunch of other things right here. I think these are all people did covers for it. That submitted covers for the DVD itself. The cover. Actually, it's a really well-made documentary, and like I said, it doesn't lose its momentum. It has interviews with people, and Dee Ramone, and all sorts of people. His brother seems like a really laid-back, actually complete polar opposite of G.G. Allin. Really cool guy and everything. And the drummer even seemed like a cool guy, relaxed, crazy, but relaxed, and nothing like G.G. I mean, they even said themselves that they were a separate entity, G.G. and the Murder Junkies. Like I said, I really enjoyed the movie. It's very informative, very depressing.
The next morning, Merle called with some disturbing news. They found Gigi face down, dead from a drug overdose. At the funeral, Joe Coughlin, Gigi's biographer, had this to say.
It must have been a lonely place he lived in, because for every indulgence there was something else he denied himself as a means to the end. He accomplished what he did right here in our faces, in real time, with little help from any tool outside his own mind. These things can't be denied. Could we have learned more if he was still around? Did we in fact learn anything? Hope we meet again.
very just it's pure insanity. And you know, he was on Maury, and oh my God, on the Maury, no, it was not Maury. What's the other guy? It doesn't matter. Geraldo, whatever. And in the corner next to GG Allin, there was a guy that looks identical to 42nd Street Forever. Is that you, man? I'm serious. I'm going to show the clip. Is that you? Because I can see you being there.
But give us an example of a lyric. Can you give us a lyric?
Well, we've got one called I Love Nothing. You know, I'm a cold nothing will hitch. I was a fetus-infected son of a people and possessions only slow me down. I'm on a burning bridge. You're in my way, you're going down.
No offense, but I can see you being there just like because they're talking about like extreme things. I don't know what the episode is about, but it looks just like you. It's got to be you. Anyways, check out his channel. He's an awesome guy. Awesome stuff. Anyways, it's just very informative, and the stuff that GG says is just awesome. Right here, a quote on here, he says this. He says, "My mind's a machine gun, my body's the bullets, and the audience is the target." That's just, he's just a very angry person. Himself, he said himself that he would become a serial killer if he wasn't with this outlet. And I believe that. He was very violent. He, at one show, broke a couple people's noses right away. He was crapping on stage. All sorts of disgusting, vile shit. And you know, it's just one-of-a-kind antic, and you know, someone that can't be recreated. That's just one of the sleaziest things ever. I mean, actually the way the documentary was shot looked very gritty, very urban, and you know, it worked really well. Maybe it felt like almost like Combat Shock or something like that, but I really enjoyed it, and like I keep saying that, but that's all there is to put it because I don't know what to say. The DVD had another interview with his brother and the drummer, Dino, and Miro, something like that. I don't remember his name. And it was an hour plus long, and it was very interesting. It was pretty cool. His brother was, I think that if that was his house, he was big into horror movies. There was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre poster on the wall with Bill Moseley as Chop Top pictures and stuff, and a picture of him with Chop Top, which was awesome to know that he's big into horror movies. And he said he actually met Todd Phillips, I think, at a video store, the documentary maker here, at a video store, and they used to hook each other up. He used to hook him up with like free tapes and everything like that. So it's pretty interesting and everything, and all well, you know, it is a true portrayal, like it says. It doesn't paint him as a villain. It doesn't paint him as a hero. It just paints it and let your eyes decide what colors they are. You know, I did enjoy it, like I said, and I would highly recommend it for any kind of fans if you can get past the nudeness and the lewdness of it, because I can get past pretty much anything when it comes to that. But I mean, I wouldn't want my parents to see this because this guy's running around with his dick hanging, swinging in the air and everything on the concert, and it's just, I can't imagine the smell at that concert. Man, oh man. And when he was on the show talking and stuff, and the stuff he was saying, his lyrics were excellent, I thought, what I heard. I really enjoyed his lyrics. They were actually really smart, intelligent, I mean, for what they were. I mean, you'd think people just would discredit this guy as a loon, but no, his lyrics were good. I mean, and they said, his brother said that he's coming up with this stuff in a month, which was awesome. You know, I mean, it's hard for people to come up with material that quick. That's actually the best you can do and just be top like that. Anyways, if you like documentaries, I believe this one's pretty well made. If you like punk music, which I don't really know anything about, I'm going to be honest, I'm sure you should check this out if you're interested in GG Allin or hated or the music scene at that time in the late 80s, early 90s, when this documentary is basically taking place, then check it out. It has 2 different commentary tracks, which I have not listened to, but I did watch all the features. The interview with his mom was quite interesting. It seemed like their father was a crazy, strict religious guy, and the mother was actually a sweetheart, actually. That's what it seemed like. You know? He died in typical rocker fashion, which is so strange. It's just, I don't know. You know, the ending and everything is depressing. But I enjoyed it, like I said, and I would recommend it. It's hated, GG Allin and the Murder Junkies. Thank you. Bye.
What animal Kevin would be? Knowing about him now, I'd say a wolverine. He has an insatiable appetite. He always kills and eats more, or kills more than he needs to sustain himself.
And his newest edition, Didi Ramon.
Dee, what made you decide to join the Murder Junkies?
So that's the name. I didn't know that was the name, the Murder Junkies. I thought it was the GG Allin band. And I joined it because I wanted to have some fun and play a little and not have any responsibility.
We had been drinking heavily, and as we drove down 9th Avenue, Gigi opened up the van door and began throwing beer bottles at some hookers. I wasn't worried because I knew at 30 miles an hour he was too drunk to hit anything, let alone a prostitute. 1 week later, Dee Dee quit the band, claiming it had nothing to do with that incident.